Hey guys, okay, so I've been trying to film this video for like 2 weeks. So April 22nd was my wrap-a-versary. I've been wrapping for 1 year. That's it, 1 year. So many people think it's been longer than that, and it hasn't been. It's only been 1 year. So I've only been wrapping for a year. A lot of people think that I've been wrapping for a lot longer than that. And I haven't been. This is a journey that Abba put me on. Now I do want to say that everything in this video, it is my journey. It is the journey that Abba planned for me. It is not what everybody is going to experience. It is not what everybody will be called to. I want to make that very clear, because so often we'll hear somebody else's journey and we'll see what happened to them and we'll expect that for us, and we'll expect that that's what's going to happen if we do this. If we cover our heads, then this is A, B, and C are going to happen. And so I want to make that very clear that this is my journey. So I got the call. That sounds so funny. Like Abba called me on the phone. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Cover your head. So I got the call. He told me to cover my head, and I was kind of like, wait, what? I don't know about this. So I talked to my husband about it, and we kind of had some discussions and did some study in the Bible and the Word. And so for 2 weeks, I just covered with a scarf, and I'll put some pictures in here so you guys can see. I just covered with a scarf so you could still see like my little bun. So my hair was up, and I had a little bun. So for 2 weeks I did that. Abba made it very clear that that was not good enough. And when he made it very clear that for me that wasn't good enough, I kind of felt like Ananias in Acts 5. He sold everything he had, but he kept a little bit for him. And in the process, he lied. He lied to God and said he gave it all, but he didn't. I never took it so far that I lied, but I kept a little bit for me. I covered my head like Abba said, but I kept that little bit for me. I didn't cover all my hair. I kept that little bit. I let the world see my hair. So I didn't cover completely. So I covered fully for the first time after 2 weeks, and from then on, my head was covered fully. Abba did give me some rules. I was to cover in public. I have a little notebook if you were wondering why I'm looking down. I was to cover fully in public. I was to cover in prayer and when I was in the Word. No man could see my hair except my husband. That one was extremely clear. There were exceptions, like my boys. I have sons. And when I'm at home, I'll take my wrap off so they see my hair. And that was okay. But they're my boys. And he said I would cover fully. And when that rule came through, like fully was like fully. And I was like, ugh. I kind of fudged that one in the beginning. And then the funny part was, I was talking to my husband, and he made sure to let me know that he could add or take away from these rules. Kind of like when you're a teenager and you get those car keys for the first time and your parents lay down the law. They give you those rules and they're like, and I can add or take away from these rules at any time. And you're like, yes, I know. You are my parents. Abba made sure I knew. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, I just covered my head. That's it. That's where the journey ends. No. That was not where the journey ended. So there were some things that followed. It started with music. I love music. Anybody who knows me knows I'm singing constantly. If I'm not singing, I'm humming. If I'm not humming, I'm whistling. If I'm not whistling, I have music playing. If I'm not playing music on my phone or a CD or Spotify or whatever, I'm literally playing music. I have guitars, I have a mandolin, I have a flute. I was trying to learn the cello, but my fingers did not like playing the cello. I have a piano, which is what's sitting right here. It was a gift from some of my amazing friends who I love dearly. It's an old piano. Can you see the keys, how old they are? But I'm playing music. I love music. Music is one of my joys. I love to worship Abba. But through my head covering, some of the music I used to listen to, I was like, ugh. I couldn't believe that I let that music in my ears. Like, it was, even thinking about it right now, it makes me cringe. Like, the secular music that we listen to is awful. So then, like, TVs and movies. TVs? Huh? Television and movies. We don't watch a whole lot of TV. Movies are another story. We do love movies, especially my kids. I do have some TV shows that I still watch, but a lot of the TV shows we used to watch, like especially me and my husband, we can't even like think about them anymore. These things start to fall away. That is the biggest thing. If you are a believer and you submit to Abba and you start following his word and you fully give yourself and you start following Yeshua so close that you are covered in the dust of his robe, you're gonna change. Things of this world are gonna fall away, and it tells us that. Do not be conformed to this world. Don't do it. And it says that in Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. And you can do that. I did that through music, through television, through movies. There are certain things, like we walk in the stores. You're walking on the movie aisle, especially in like Walmart or Target, and you just like, you'll look at a movie cover and you're just like, ugh. You just know. You know it's not good. Okay, I can't even. There's so many movies now that come out and it's just, I can't even. The next one is one of those things that I don't even really like talking about because it causes so many arguments and I don't understand it because, okay, I'm just gonna go into it, and if it causes an argument, it causes an argument. How we eat changed, and it was a big leap for our family. We don't eat anything unclean. We follow Leviticus 11. And we thought we were doing a good job. We went through and we wrote down our lists of everything that was unclean, and we stopped eating it. No pork, no shrimp, no crab, which we're not a huge seafood family anyways. But there were some fish that we had to cut out. I love catfish, fried catfish. I'm a Southern family, so, but we cut out a lot of things. We switched from pork bacon to turkey bacon. which was kind of hard for my kids. They love bacon in the morning with their pancakes, and so we thought we were doing good. And then one of our sisters on a fellowship group shared a link with us, and we found out that a lot of the things we were eating, they were unclean. And as a mama, it kind of broke my heart. And it's breaking me right now all over again, because I was feeding my kids Kraft macaroni and cheese, and it's unclean because of how it's processed. I was feeding my kids ramen. I was letting them have ramen, and it's unclean because of how it's processed. Every once in a while they would have cream soda because it's cream soda. It's unclean. Giving them Benadryl for allergies, it's unclean. There were so many things on that list that I would have never in a million years imagined would have been unclean. And they were. I will have that linked below if you're interested, the whole list. It's stuff that I would have never imagined. My cat is now here. Hi, Gunner. Yes, you're so handsome. We know. Oh, and here come my dogs now. But so that changed. That was one of the next steps. And it was a hard one. It's really hard to go to a grocery store and try and find things that are unclean, or that are clean, not unclean. It's really easy to find things that are unclean. Even my kids' candies, they love to get candies as treats, and trying to find things that are clean. And we live in a really small town, so we don't have like a kosher grocery store. We do have an Albertsons, and they are amazing. So I've talked to them, and they've ordered a few things for me occasionally as treats for my kids. So that's been a huge blessing, and I love them for it. The next call. Oh man. The next call is why you guys are seeing my face. And it was the biggest. It was one of the only times I've ever questioned Abba. He called me to ministry. I started wrapping my head, and I wasn't comfortable sharing my journey on my public, like on my personal social media. Obviously they knew I was covering my head because my picture started changing, but I wasn't comfortable sharing my story. So I created an Instagram account called Head Covering Christian, and I left it public so people could find me and I could find them easier. And it actually started growing kind of quickly. And I was a little shocked because it's just me. And I was sharing, what I was doing and why I was doing it. And a couple people asked me how, to share how I was doing my wraps. And so I shared a few little tutorials, how I did my wraps. And it was fun. I was creating friendships along the way. And then I started getting messages asking for help, asking for some guidance, asking for some prayers. And honestly, I felt humbled. It was so beautiful. I never thought that I could ever be used in that way. And I was praying one day, you know, asking Abba, what's my next step? Where do you want me to go? What do you need me to do? And he said, I need you to do what you are doing. I need you to minister to others. I need you to continue lifting others up. And I was like, oh my gosh, do you know who you're talking to? Like, are you serious? Are you sure you want me? Because I don't think I'm the best person for that job. Nope. Not me. So I prayed and I talked to my husband, and my husband assured me, he was like, you can do this. You've been doing this. You've got this. I felt like I was called to go out and just serve. And not in a way to, oh, this is so hard to word. Not to teach scripture, really. Not to teach theology. But to be here to lift others up, to show that living the scripture it's not as hard as people make it out to be. And you can do it happily. It's not hard. And it's so easy to make other people smile. And honestly, it's how Lou Ministries was born. The name Lou, actually, there's a story behind it. Lou was actually one of my nicknames when I was younger. My middle name is Louise, and I always hated it. I thought it was an old lady name. So as a joke, some of my friends started calling me Lou. And it stuck for a while. And then, you know, once that phase kind of fell away, the nickname fell away. Well, I was talking to another one of my friends later on about nicknames, and she was like, oh, that's perfect, you know, because you're always lifting others up. So when I was talking to my husband, you know, we were talking about like ministry names, and he was like, oh, that's kind of perfect, you know, for a ministry name, Lou Ministries. So Lou Ministries was born. It's a place to glorify Abba while lifting others up to the place where he wants them. He doesn't want any of us on the floor. He doesn't want any of us burdened. He doesn't want any of us alone. He wants all of us smiling, happy, looking at him, and together. So that's the purpose of the ministry, is to create a community. So the call to ministry is why you're seeing my face. That's how this YouTube channel was born. That's why these videos are here, is to encourage, to tell my story and encourage others. The next place that changed was my modesty journey. My dress changed quite drastically. I've always been pretty modest. I was a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl. Every once in a while I'd wear a tank top, especially if it was hot outside. But I've always been a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl. I was never really into dresses or, you know, skimpy clothing. But oh, has it changed. I only wear skirts outside of my house, and they have to be at least knee length. I do not wear anything shorter. I always have leggings underneath them anyways. It's really windy here, so I'm always super paranoid that the wind is gonna catch my skirt and just, you know, not modest. And they always have to be loose fitting. I do not wear, you know, like I guess they're called pencil skirts. I'm not super fashion forward, so I don't know. I think they're called pencil skirts, you know, the ones that are like, I don't wear them. I wear more of, I guess, like the A-line, you know, the looser skirts. My tops are always loose fitting. The neckline's always higher. If it's not higher, I'll wear some, like a tank under it to make the neckline higher. It has to have sleeves. The sleeves don't have to go to my elbows, but it has to have sleeves. I don't wear just tank tops anymore. I can't, you know. Makeup, I wear less. Like today, I don't have anything. There's nothing on my face. This is just me. It's actually 7:44 in the morning. Well, that's, yeah, 7:44 in the morning. Makeup, I wear way less more. I pay attention to the names. I went through my makeup and oh my gosh, some of the names, I could not believe what I was putting on my face. I threw them away. Even if I do wear makeup, it's pretty natural. A lot of the makeup I do wear, it's just to cover up, like, you know, to make yourself not look like the living dead. I do have lupus, so I'll get red. I get red on my cheeks and my nose, and it's like bright. So I'll wear makeup to cover that. I do get splotches from my lupus as well. So a lot of it's just to cover that so people don't, because people will be like, oh my gosh, you look sick. Are you okay? Do you need to lie down? So a lot of it's just to cover that up. But I've always worn makeup to accentuate what Abba gave me. It's just fun. You know, I keep it natural. Another thing that's changed is where I get my clothes. I generally don't buy new. I go to yard sales, I go to thrift stores, I go to consignment. I do love shopping ThredUp. It's an online consignment. It's amazing, but you can spend a lot of money there. You can get caught up real fast. It is kind of dangerous. I've done it a few times. But they have shoes, they have handbags, they have clothes. They don't have men's clothes as of right now, as far as I know, but they do have women's and kids. It's quite amazing. And they do have a really nice, like, name brand. You won't find any of the cheap, like, Walmart stuff. It's really good name brand clothes. So if you're looking for some cheaper, really good clothes, it's an option. I will link it down below as well. But if I do buy new, it's sales rack all the way. I've always been that way though. So that really hasn't changed. But I don't buy new. Yard sales, thrift stores, all the way. Thrift store, and the pants I'm wearing, I actually got at work. I work at the hospital auxiliary, I volunteer, and we sell used clothes for $2. I'm wearing pajama pants. That's a YouTube trick. You dress nice, pajama pants on the bottom.
I just gave that away. A lot of the time though, I am in normal clothes from head to toe. FYI. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. Yes. I love you guys. Okay, anyways, back to my notes.
End result. The end result of this journey today. I am closer to Abba than I have ever been through this journey. Oh, so much closer. I hear his voice more clearly and I see his hands in my everyday. My head covering is a reminder every second that I have it on of who guides me, who has my back, who comforts me, and who is with me. He is everything. I tell my husband all the time that Abba was my first love. He's first, and then my husband. And the funny thing is my husband is so okay with that. My stress, fear, and anxiety have fallen away. We're moving. We are moving to a different country, and we have 3 months to do it. Right now, we actually have 2 months and a week. And honestly, I should be freaking out. And I know Abba's gonna help me. I'm doing everything I humanly possibly can. And I know the rest is gonna happen. You have to put your trust in Abba. If it's his will, he will make it happen. You do everything you can and he will handle the rest. Everywhere where there was stress, fear, and anxiety, joy, happiness, and peace have just taken over. I can't even explain it. I used to freak out about the tiniest things. I used to have so much stress. I used to fear everything. It's so crazy what following one command from Abba will do. It will set you on a journey, and you cannot know the outcome, the path that it's going to put you on. But I can tell you it is going to be so beautiful. It might not look like what my path was. It might not look like what my journey has looked like. But it's going to be your journey, and it is going to be so beautiful. And it's going to be so amazing because it's going to be your journey with Abba. So if you hear that voice, you hear that command from Abba, follow it. Don't just follow a little bit of it. Don't do like I did and just put a little scarf on. Don't follow a little bit. Follow all of it. Don't be like Ananias. Follow all of it. Just jump, because Abba is going to be there to catch you. He is going to be there to grab you in this big bear hug, because he's our Heavenly Father and he loves us. So I wanted to share this journey with you because it has been a beautiful year. It has been a crazy year, and I'm sure there's so much more to come, and I want to share it with you guys. I have some more videos coming for you guys. But like always, I love you guys so very much. Go out and lift others up, and I will see you guys very soon.